Hey guys, my name is Cityyak and welcome back to another pointless City Skyline experimental video where today we answered the question that you know what? Somebody did ask this and I gotta give out a big shout out to your boy Snowy in the comment section, and he pretty much asked your Cityyak, what is the most amount of water a city can function while being underwater? Now when I seen that, my brain did a little happy dance because that sounds freaking amazing right now. We're going to answer your boy Snowy's question. How much water can you flood a city and the city still be a city? And that is what we're going to find out today. Now, guys, if you do enjoy this, want to see more fun experimental city Skylines experimental videos in the future, then make sure you smash that like button down below. If you are new in here, then make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when the next episode does come out. And if you've got any ideas like your boy Snowy, leave them in the comment section down below. But we have a map. It is all water. And what we're going to do is we are going to build a city on an island. Once the city on the island is fully functional, we're going to slowly keep rising the sea level to a point where the city is slightly underwater. Because I know as soon as you get like a certain depth, it's game over. But I've played the game numerous amounts of times, and I'm sure you guys have played the games numerous amounts of times where you, for example, accidentally cause a flood. But the water is so low, it doesn't really affect too much, and the vehicles are still able to drive through it. So we're going to find out today what that limit is going to be. Now, the terrain height at the bottom is at 60. If I make it 100, I'm not actually too sure how high the water is right now. So if I kind of do that, we are borderline smack bang in the middle. So we'll kind of create a nice little kind of roundish circle. Create a beautiful little island. I'm going to create a beautiful little nation, a little city on top of it. I actually don't know if that is also the right height. So fast forward, it could still be like just under the water. So I'll wait for the water to slightly depart there. I mean, I can actually just reset the sea level. That gives me a better kind of understanding. So that is then the island. Actually, not too bad. Pretty beautiful. We'll just kind of smoothen the edges off slightly just to kind of create something a little bit more natural. But voila! There we go. So, we're going to give it a minute or two for the water to settle all down again. For us to kind of actually find out where our edges will be. And then we'll build a beautiful city around it. So, a few things we're going to do then on this beautiful little island, which already, because it looks kind of slightly flat already, but it is literally the smoothing that I've done. It's still going to flood because the flooding is still happening. It is kind of annoying, but we just kind of have to live with it. Oh, hold on. That's another thing as well. Is the shipping lane here? It's going to crash into it. That's not good. Well, we can make this shipping lane go around it. There we go. So, what we need to do now is we first need to get a passenger harbour down. We need to also get a cargo harbour down. We need to start building this place up so it becomes ultimately functional. Now, the waves are just coming in left, right and centre. They come in, they disappear. They come in, they disappear. I'm just literally waiting for them to actually stop moving in. And then we're going to be good to go, right? You guys have had enough right now of causing mayhem and chaos. Yes, waves. Yes. No, it's coming back in again. It's just the natural waves that we have. So I think I might bring this up slightly a little bit more. So flatten it out again. And by 100. That is the height. That is the height. I think, yeah. Okay, right, there we go. Perfect. Sweet, mate, sweet. So, we'll first start then with our, not ferry depot. What is it called again? It's the normal harbour is what we need. So, if I place this just here, and then the cargo, is that the cargo harbour? Just so we can have some functional stuff going on. Just there. Sweet. So, we'll then build a road around the ring of the island. I know it keeps flooding. We're borderline on the edge already. So this is what's going to make this experiment really, really exciting. So try and get it all to stay to the floor. If I get rid of you, 4 there, put that back on, the snap in, bam. And then we'll try our best right now to create something. So we'll go for a nice little bend here. We'll push it straight to there. We'll kind of go for a little bend just here. Push it straight to there. Start the bend all again. Bring it right round. All nice and bendy. 12 by 12. And then we're back in. So a nice little ring around the island. We're going to just do some basic kind of lines right now, just to kind of try and fill up as much as possible. So if I base it off a connection going dead across, and what we'll do, because it doesn't really matter what's going to happen, because we know ultimately this city is going to flood. So it doesn't matter how... It's also a small island, so it doesn't matter how good the road network is. I just want to try and maximize it so we can get maximum people pretty much living here. So to there, which then makes this somewhat a bit easier to connect in. So that could go there. It's all nice and bendy. Alright, bring that to there. I'll bring that one to there. Can that go straight across here? I mean, I could anarchy it in and it will connect fine. So I'll do the same to this. We'll anarchy it, boys! Oh, that's as good as we're going to get it. So very funky. I mean, it's just simple, okay? It's just freaking simple. And we'll just get this going all the way around the edge right now. There we go, there we go, there we go. Connect and connect. Okay, so. We first need to look at the utility side of things. So, one, I'm not going to do a water tower. I'm actually going to do like a water pump. So, we'll go with this one and we'll place it right on the edge. For the sewage treatment, we'll just use the standard basin. And we'll get these guys pretty much connected straight away. Now, power-wise, I'm not going to utilize or add anything in that needs to be built on land. We're going to use the advanced wind turbines. And we'll kind of bring them slightly around the edges. So that gives us 120 megawatts to utilize right now. Because I know that no matter how high the sea rises... If I place down a power plant, for example, and it stops working because of the water, at least these can continue going so we can still provide power to a lot of places. That makes sense? I'm hoping that kind of makes sense. Right, so we got the power, we got the sewage, we got the water. We'll just need to sort out now the garbage. So we'll drop down a large recycling plant just there. Now it does put... Oh, actually... Is it noise pollution or ground pollution? It's just noise pollution that it causes. Maybe that might not be the best option for us. So maybe I do like a smaller version of it. Throw it just up here. Kind of get it away from the area. And if I press pause right now. And what I'm going to do is we're going to first fill up these gaps here with residential. So I'm going to get the old paintbrush out. All this can be residential. Just this little section here. And then worst case scenario, add more around the edges. And what we'll do is we'll add in some commercial, which we'll utilize just on this strip. So I'm kind of breaking it up, the areas. Industrial can go around here. There we go. Bring that down to there. Do a bit just there. This one here, I'll do offices. And then all the remaining space that I've got then at this point will be... for a little bit more commercial, or it might be just some more residential. We'll just see how it rock and rolls. So we'll do some stuff to kind of, you know, eventually cause some upgrades, some leisure facilities and activities. So I'll place you just there. Just a couple of those right there. We'll sort out now all the kind of generic services. So we've got a beautiful little medical center, which is probably going to be overwhelmed. A fire depot. We need a police station. And of course, we need to take care of some death. So I get 2 crematoriums. And that is the basic stuff that I kind of need to get this little city up and running. And then, and only then, will we slightly start to raise the sea level. And we'll see how far we can rise it to make the city slightly underwater to the point where it's still functional. For what reason we'll eventually use this outcome, I do not know in the real world. But it's always nice to know, isn't it, guys? It's always nice to know what would happen. So we need some power. Oh, the power's now all officially connected, so we're all good there. People are now starting to move in as the weekly change starts to slowly increase. So we're just going to give it a minute or two right now and just simply wait for the rest of this city to build up. So we'll add in some other stuff as well. So we add in some schools. So we'll do a elementary school, and of course we'll do a high school just to provide some forms of levels of education. Waiting for our first cruise ship to enter the scene. So then we can then officially have people walking about on the main streets of Underwaterville. Great name. You can tell I've been working on that for so freaking long right now. Amazing, Zodiac, amazing. So just gotta wait for these folios to actually get over here. There's a big line of ships over in that direction. Big line of ships over in the other direction too. So they're on the way. They're now officially on the way. It's the first one to kind of get up right now. 100 people on board. 100 people on board this one. Cargo incoming too. 20% filled up. So we now officially have people on the island. Amazing. Good stuff. GG everybody. Which, over time, given the chance, it will then slowly build this area up. So if I just keep an eye on our availabilities over here, we'll give some time right now, let some time pass by for this city to become the beautiful city that it wishes it can be. And then we'll slowly start raising the sea level. I don't think we're going to be able to raise it too much before everyone starts complaining, but there's got to be a point of where you can kind of make their toes a bit wet and still everything be okay. It's looking beautiful. It's in full effect, in full swing right now. And all the statistics are looking pretty good. So, this is where we take it to the next step. This is where we potentially destroy everything. I'm going to throw that out there right now. This is potentially where we destroy everything. But we're going to try now and slightly raise the sea levels. Now, we do have a nice little bit of a barrier. If I go into like the cinematic camera, there is that little bit of a beautiful rise right now before it hits the road. So we can go up to a certain degree, but once it hits that, it's a kind of complete plateau top. So it's just going to flood everything. Now, I've got to try and do this very carefully as well. So to rise the sea level, it's going to be interesting. I can bring it up a little bit to the edge of the road. So I give it a little chance. I'm not going to reset the sea level because that's when we're going to probably cause like waves. But that's as far as it then taking itself. So what I've always noticed when kind of rising sea levels or using this tool is that the sea level says it's going to go up to here, but it doesn't. It's down here. So if I bring it right up to the edge of the road at this point, it should slightly raise a little bit more, which it does, but doesn't quite hit the road. Now, is the city still okay? It's not saying there's any flooding at the minute. But how much further can we now go? So now it's on the road where the water would say it would be. So as it rises up, still not quite just there. Oh, it's so nerve-wracking, isn't it? Because I know we're in one false swipe. Right, there we go. The city's destroyed. So that's enough right now for it to class the roads as being flooded, even though they're not. They're if I kind of view it in certain angles, it's quite shiny, as if there was water on there. But even still, that is not enough to flood it. They're classing that they are... the building's flooding. Oh, do you see a little bit of water? Just hear them for a second. But they're still functional. They are still functional at this time. Okay. Do I really want to take it up on the next notch? Right, no, actually, no. We'll keep it playing normal mode. So that might be a death sentence I've just given the city. But at the same time, look at that. The waves slightly disappear. And then we're okay. Oh, this is so nerve-wracking. This is so nerve-wracking. There is certain parts of the city that is technically underwater. As the terrain changes levels. But it's not to a point where the city is completely dead. There's little puddles that do appear. So let's have a little fast forward now. At this current height, there's moments where the water does trickle in to parts of the city, as you can see. But they can still walk through it. They can still drive through it. It's not stopping anybody doing anything. Now, that's going to be really difficult to get everything at the same level. So, what I now do is I select everything. And now I know we are flooding at an angle here. I'm going to choose this node as the node that I want to level everything at. So if I select that, that now completely changes the whole of the island's height. So we should see a lot more flooding now taking place. Or maybe not. It's just working, isn't it? It's on the edge. Which means only one thing. We now take it up another level. Now, I know everything's on the same level right now. Look at that. That is what the water's currently at. So I have to now judge it off the edge of the building. So I've gone up a tiny bit more. I was judging it off the windows of this building. I've gone up a tiny bit more, which even that tiny bit has now put some water on the roads. But it's still not enough to cause them to sail downstream. They're still able to walk through the roads. They're still able to drive through the roads right now. Now, the only thing that will kind of stop this city from working is when buildings start to despawn. Now, I don't know if they despawn with like a foot of water. So we'll fast forward now. And ultimately, I don't know how long that water's going to stay around. So do you see what I mean? They can function to a certain degree. They can function. But I'm pushing boundaries trying to find when that fine level is. I really am. But we continue the climb. So pause. So you can see where it is now on the edge of this building. If I now rise it a little bit more, which is going to cause even more flooding. Which again, I got it in fast forward mode, so keep an eye on it. People aren't sailing away, which is good. We did lose quite a lot of the population at that point right there. So some people did die. Some people did get swooped away. But we're crawling on back. But you can now consistently see there's moments where there's water flying down the roads. It's not a lot, but it just comes in its moments. But even that is still not enough. How much higher are we going to be making this? So you can see it floods. So pause again. You can see where the level is right now. I'm going up 3 segments at a time. Is what I'm doing. So this is going to cause some flooding. And everybody is now officially complaining. And we're losing a lot of people again. But it's still not enough to swoop them off the streets. They can still walk. It still slightly disappears. But we are going to get to a point where the edges of this whole city are consistently underwater. But they're able to manage. They're walking. I said they're walking through it. They're swimming through it right now. And this, wow. Even I'm shocked at this moment. So the next step is higher, Zodiac. Right, I've actually put that up a little bit higher than I've been doing the other ones. So that might now be end of story. But I'm watching the people. They're walking, they're driving, they're able to function in this depth of water. I mean, the water will disappear slightly away. But the main thing is, the city is still going. We're actually still gaining population. I'm not sure for how long. But they are underwater here. Well, you know, to an extent. And they're functioning like it's a normal city. And there's water everywhere. I feel like this is the limit. Okay, we're now starting to lose a little bit of population. No, we're back up to making population again. There's a gap here. So that's my next problem then is, are the buildings going to despawn because they are classed as being underwater? And I feel like this is the most we could take it to. I reckon if I start rising it now, this is where we lose everything. But then again, we're losing quite a bit of population anyway right now. But it's still ding-a-linging upgrades. We're now losing hundreds of people at this point. They're still able to walk. So, oh, hang on, is the population going down? If I start gaining population again, and I know that this height is okay. Well, I don't think we are. I think this height right now is too much. Yeah. So if that height is too much, bring it. I brought it down by 2. So bring it down by 2 little kind of segments that allows me to drop it by. Is that enough then for the population to slowly turn around? So let it continue for a bit. So we're over the limit. We know that right now. We're over the limit. So will that drop enough to where we start gaining population again? There's only so many vehicles that can drive through. But we are losing population like crazy. So back to the building. I mean, once this building despawns, I've lost my my marker point. So I've gone down by 3 just there. So it's only small dips. But you got to find that nice little point where it all works out well for us. Which a lot of the central buildings right now are saying that they're no longer flooded, but they do come back to life a bit. And I think our population's about to kind of there we go, grow again. So, that there is the limit to how much water you can have flooding your city for your city to still be functional. Yes, they're complaining. I get it. I get it. I get it. They are complaining. And that's solely because they are freaking underwater. They are underwater. There's no ifs, no buts about it. But this is the most that I'm willing to add in. I mean, the whole of that basin right there is underwater itself. But that is the most you can pretty much add to a city for it to still be functional. But then again, we're starting to lose population all over again right now. I think it's the waves. The waves that kind of cut out, because then it drops down again. And we might start gaining population again at this point. Will we? Won't we? Yeah. So now we start to gain population again. It all depends on when a wave hits, doesn't it? But what I'll do, just to kind of be extra sure. There we go. Bring it down a tad bit more. Tad bit more. That we're comfortable with. Population's balancing out again. We should be alright. Now, for what reason, or for what kind of knowledge you would gain for this and how you would implement it in the real world, I don't know. If you wanted to build the Lost City of Atlantis right now, then it's good to go, boys. You're good to go. It is possible to build a city technically underwater. We have peaked. We have peaked. And on that note, guys, I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I say you're all so good. Bye.